Now let me just start out this video by saying if Anderson Silva actually got knocked out twice before this fight in training camp leading up to it, it shouldn't even be happening. Number one, there's rules and stipulations that the commission has to follow if he was knocked out. I know boxing, there's a lot of brain damage, but they care a little bit. If the rumors are true, if things actually did happen in training camp where it led to him getting knocked out, the thing about it is, in sparring, especially when it comes to boxing, you usually don't go 100%. The main reason being brain damage. It is a known fact now, especially in boxing gyms, to not go 100% in sparring sessions and in general until it's like your training camp leading up to a fight. That is when you start to bump it up a little bit. But that's even in the training camp, not necessarily the week or 2 weeks before the fight. The week before the fight, you're usually not doing anything other than warm-ups. This is where the questions start to get asked. Did Anderson Silva actually get knocked out? Which, I really don't think so, especially in sparring, just because he's been doing it for so long and he is older. So why would he be going so hard? At the same time, maybe he really is trying to train for Jake Paul and it was a mistake that happened. But I think it could be more or less Anderson Silva trying to play mind games in the sense that he wants Jake Paul to think that he's not going to be up to speed. He's going to be slow. He's going to be old. All Jake Paul has to do is hit his chin. I don't think we're going to be able to really tell that until the fight, obviously. At the same time, I think Jake Paul and Anderson Silva have had a lot of respect lately, so I don't know why he would do that. But I think it could have been maybe he just misspoke. Maybe he got knocked down and he meant knocked down in the interview where he said knocked out. I'm not too sure if it was a language barrier thing. Who the fuck knows? But it is going around like wildfire now. And I know that I'm pretty sure the fight's on. I'm pretty sure they weighed in. But if the fight gets canceled because of something like that happened, it really is just, why is he sparring that hard at that age? So what he originally said was that he got knocked down or whatever, knocked out after a round, got up, asked his training partners, like, oh, why are they going so hard? Like, why are they knocking me out? And he says, we are preparing for war. So if that's what their mentality was, maybe it might backfire. I doubt it'll go like that just because this fight has a lot of build-up to it. And it would be a real bad thing for Showtime, I think, in general, if that happened. Now, another thing I want to bring up is the odds actually changed the past 2 days, which they're going to, but they changed more in Jake Paul's favor. So if they're taking this whole entire 2 knockouts in training for real when it comes to putting the odds out, then that's going to be very interesting because maybe it is more true than we think. But again, I just really don't understand why you would be training that hard at that age. It just doesn't make any sense to me. For me, all roads lead to it was just a media trick or he misspoke. I have no clue why they would be training so hard, especially when he's fighting Jake Paul, who's not necessarily the best fighter. He's not a world champion type of fighter, and Jake Paul necessarily hasn't fought in any wars. He's fought 6 rounds against Tyrone Woodley. He's fought 8 rounds against Tito Ortiz. He's already prepared for a good amount of fights, but even an 8-round fight necessarily isn't a war, especially compared to 25 minutes in a cage when it comes to UFC. Or 12 rounds in boxing. It's a whole 4 less rounds. So when it comes to preparing for war, I don't know. That just leads me again down the road of misspoke, whatever it was. Media trick. I don't know. But I really do think that Anderson Silva is going to be very prepared for this fight, and it's going to be an entertaining fight. We have Jake Paul, who's still got the knockout power. I think he's going to bring a lot when it comes to his knockout power, and we're going to really see if he's going to have the technical boxing that we've been looking for. We've seen him go 6 rounds with Woodley. That's the farthest we've seen. We haven't seen a lot of technical fighting. We've seen a little bit here and there. We've seen him have defense, but Anderson Silva is an elite fighter in general, and I don't think he's going to be as laid back as Woodley was. I think he's going to be pressing the fight more. He's going to be putting a lot more pressure on Jake Paul, and we're going to see if Jake Paul is going to be getting hit a lot. Can Jake Paul manage the distance against someone who's taller than him? Will Jake Paul be getting jabbed in the face a whole bunch, or will he have an answer for it? We will see. I honestly think Jake Paul is only going to have a chance with his knockout power, and maybe if it goes to decision. But honestly, if it goes to decision, it really depends on who's taking rounds. I think Anderson Silva could have the capability of landing more strikes. And if that happens, if it goes to decision, I think it might go to Anderson. So we're going to have to see. It's going to be a good fight, and I think because there's so many questions from both sides, I think that's what makes it interesting. Especially with the whole entire, has Anderson Silva been knocked out twice? Once again, it's just a big question mark. No one knows except for his training camp. There's not an actual leaked video of him getting knocked out on the floor. He said it in a media clip. So, did it actually happen? Who the fuck knows? We're only going to find out who's the better fighter once Saturday comes. So that's going to be it for this video. We're going to have Jake Paul, Anderson Silva, Saturday night at 7 p.m. We're going to have a watch party going live at 6:30 p.m. Tune in on the YouTube. We're going to be going live, talking about the fight, and then watching each fight one by one, talking about them, seeing who wins. And then we're also going to have videos Saturday night, Sunday morning. Be looking on YouTube for them. I promise you they will be out. And with that, that's going to be it for this one. So have a great fucking day.